You know the list: the Great Pyramid, Hanging Gardens, Statue of Zeus, Temple of Artemis, Mausoleum, Colossus, Lighthouse. For centuries, these were the pinnacle of ancient engineering. But when Martin van Heemskerk standardized the Seven Wonders in 1572, 6 had been gone for a millennium. If you map out their actual lifespans, all 7 wonders existed simultaneously on Earth for a brief window of less than 60 years. How did a collection of doomed, short-lived structures, most of which fell to earthquakes and fire, become the permanent gold standard for human achievement? To understand the list, we must look at the geopolitical map of the 4th century BCE. Alexander the Great's conquests violently expanded the Greek world, giving Hellenistic travelers sudden, unprecedented access to the civilizations of Egypt, Persia, and Babylon. The ancient Greeks didn't actually call them wonders. They used the word theomata, which translates simply to sights or things to be seen. The earliest versions of this list were essentially ancient travel itineraries compiled for wealthy, globe-trotting tourists. By opening the borders of the Mediterranean, the Greeks turned local religious shrines and regional tombs into the world's first international tourist destinations. The Colossus of Rhodes shows exactly how this new era operated. When a rival Macedonian army abandoned its siege of Rhodes in 304 BCE, the locals sold the enemy's discarded military equipment to fund a towering 32-meter bronze statue of the sun god Helios. To keep it from tipping in the Aegean winds, engineers filled the hollow bronze shell with massive rocks. The engineering was brilliant, but it couldn't survive the tectonic reality of the Mediterranean. After standing for only 54 years, an earthquake snapped the bronze god at the knees. The Colossus collapsed, but the tourism didn't stop. The ruins lay on the ground for 8 centuries, drawing crowds eager to see a fallen giant so large that, as the Roman writer Pliny the Elder recorded, few men can clasp the thumb in their arms, and its fingers are larger than most statues. A similar fate met the Temple of Artemis in Ephesus. Financed in part by the wealthy Lydian king Croesus, this massive marble structure dominated the landscape as a localized tribute to the goddess. In 356 BCE, a man named Herostratus deliberately burned the wooden interior of the temple to the ground. When captured, he freely admitted his motive. He simply wanted his name to be recorded in history. Herostratus succeeded perfectly. In the ancient world, physical survival was not a strict requirement for historical immortality. A monument could secure its place in the collective memory through the sheer spectacle of its own destruction. We see this again with the tomb built for the Carian ruler Mausolus at Halicarnassus. Standing 45 meters tall, the structure was adorned with 400 freestanding sculptures crafted by 4 of the most highly regarded Greek artists of the era. It survived Alexander's conquests and pirate attacks, towering above the harbor for 16 centuries. But a series of intense earthquakes between the 12th and 15th centuries finally shattered the columns and brought the pyramidal roof crashing down. When the Knights of St. John arrived to fortify the region in 1494, they didn't see a wonder of the world, they saw a convenient quarry. They ground the intricate marble reliefs into lime for plaster and hauled the structural stones away to build their own coastal fortifications at Bodrum Castle. The fallen Colossus of Rhodes suffered a nearly identical indignity. According to historical chronicles, an invading Arab army eventually broke up the bronze plates and sold the scrap metal to a merchant from Edessa. The physical bodies of these wonders did not gently weather away. Their raw materials were systematically dismantled and cannibalized to fuel the armies and architecture of the empires that followed them. Even as the physical stones vanished, the name of the Caledonian ruler outlived the tomb itself. Today, we use the word mausoleum as the generic noun for any stately burial chamber, long after the original mausolus was cremated. The tomb's physical blueprint proved just as contagious. The distinctive stepped pyramid roofline designed by ancient architects was revived in the 20th century and embedded directly into the skyline of modern American civic buildings, like the Los Angeles City Hall. That exact same Caledonian geometry jumped across oceans, heavily influencing massive memorial structures on the other side of the planet, including the Shrine of Remembrance in Melbourne, Australia. The Colossus of Rhodes left a similar linguistic stain. When the Roman Emperor Nero built an imitation 30-meter statue of himself, the Roman public immediately associated the scale with the Rhodian wonder. That association stuck so hard that the adjacent Flavian amphitheater inherited the nickname and is now forever known as the Colosseum. That bronze sun god standing in the harbor also served as the direct conceptual inspiration for the Statue of Liberty, which the poet Emma Lazarus explicitly titled the New Colossus. These vanished designs functioned like a cultural virus, embedding ancient Carian and Greek aesthetics into the DNA of modern global architecture. This brings us back to the sands of Egypt, and the only wonder still physically standing today, the Great Pyramid of Giza. The Egyptians built a tomb heavy enough to withstand thousands of years of human theft and geologic violence, yet the other 6 wonders achieved the exact same immortality through memory alone. Human memory functions as its own engineering marvel, holding on to a 2,000-year-old travel guide long after the monuments themselves return to dust.